So I just wanted to do a quick recap of what I put onto this new to me KTM 350 that I'm going to be using for kind of trail ride, hard dual sport type of stuff. So we'll just start from the top. So the bike had 25 hours when I got it, so I kind of went through everything, greased all the stuff. These are all things that I do on pretty much every bike that I get. From the top, hand guards. I like the full coverage ones, full wraps. I'm in Michigan, so you kind of just have to have those. You ride through a lot of saplings, and I'm not that good of a rider to make sure I miss all the trees. So it's really good to have these. These are the KTM Power Parts ones, which are made by Barkbusters and actually are cheaper than just buying the Barkbusters brand. They fit super well. You don't have to bend anything. They don't move. You can see I fell down on them earlier, so they don't move. And another thing that I really like about them is these are really flexible. They don't break like some of the other ones. They don't snap. And the other thing is, if you do go over the bars, they bend out of the way a little bit more, so you're less likely to hurt your wrist. So that's one of the things. Then skid plate, obviously. So if you're going to be riding any sort of rocks or going over logs or anything like that, it's really nice to have a skid plate, just to protect the bottom of your engine, make sure you don't shear your water pump. I like the plastic ones. I usually kind of go between the AXP for more, if I'm going to be doing slamming on a lot of rocks with the bottom of my bike, and the TM Design Works one if I'm going to be slamming a medium amount. I like the TM one better than a lot of the other ones because it's formed much better, so it wraps around your engine a lot better than some of the other ones. Like AXP specifically, it sticks out quite a bit. The AXP one is thicker. It's probably almost 50% thicker. But this one is still plenty thick. I mean, this is a pretty thick piece of plastic. I think it's probably HDPE or something like that. I've had these on my gas. They last a long time. They're really durable. And they attach really well. It's definitely not going anywhere. And the coverage is really good. So with this, I'm hoping I don't need to run any other protection on the side of the engine, because it kind of wraps around so much. It wraps around a decent amount on the other side as well. So there's good protection there. Rear disc guard, just for protecting from the rocks. I didn't really think I needed it that much until I put one on one time and was really beat up. And also because I bent a couple of rear rotors before, which is really annoying because they're pretty expensive. So it's nice. This Tusk one works super well. It's cheap. It fits really well. Adds a little bit of bling, which is cool. So I like that one. I have them on both of my bikes now. The front fork protectors. So on my Husky, which I ride a little bit more hard enduro type of stuff. It's hard enduro for me. It might not be for other people, but the result is I crash a lot. I hit a lot of rocks. So I actually have a disc guard, and I like the Polysport one because it also covers the lugs, and it's actually pretty cheap. And I like it also because it doesn't attach to the axle. It attaches to your suspension. So every time you take the front wheel off, you don't need to take your guard off, which is the whole guard off, which is way easier. The Acerbis one works well, but it's kind of a pain in the ass with the little spacer and stuff they have there. I've had that on my gas. I was not a fan. And I think Acerbis is more expensive too. So Polysport, if I want the guard for the disc. On this bike, I kind of felt like, I don't really want, or maybe hopefully don't need that. I'm not doing anything too crazy on it. So I just got these lug protectors from Tusk. I think they're like 14 bucks. So it's super cheap. It's kind of nice too, because hopefully you can see it. It covers the brake here as well, which would suck to snap that piece off. I'm sure it's like $300. The nice thing about the EXC-F is it already comes with a fan I think for a 4-stroke going in the bush. It is kind of a mandatory thing to have. It already comes with all the street legal stuff. Again, really nice for dual sport. You don't need to wire any of that stuff. It's already factory wired. So that's a huge bonus. And then this is something the previous owner put on, well, heat shield, which is also nice to not burn your pants. But yeah, that's really mostly all I do is hand guards, a good skid plate, a rear disc guard, and some either front rotor or fork protection. Radiator braces, I used to run them on the other bikes. On the newer KTMs, the louvers are actually pretty beefy, and the way that the radiators are mounted and the shrouds are mounted, they're actually pretty crush proof. They're far in there, so that works really well. So I'm not going to run anything on this bike. On the Husky, I have the KTM plastic radiator guards, which replace the louvers. So the louvers actually don't end up being as good, but the nice thing about those is there's thick plastic that covers the top and the bottom tank. So you're less likely to puncture or smash your tanks, which is a really good thing. And that's about it.